The latest soap cast changes of exits, returns and arrivals head in EastEnders, Corrie, Emmerdale and Hollyoaks. Those revolving doors in soapland never stop spinning and, as casts are changing all the time, we thought that we had better roll out our every so often look at who's arriving, who's leaving and who's returning. There are a lot of familiar faces arriving and returning to EastEnders and Hollyoaks while Coronation Street is preparing to say a few goodbyes. Meanwhile, Emmerdale is a little quieter on the cast change front, but those we are saying goodbye to, whether permanently or temporarily, will leave big gaps. Here is your latest roundup of all of the comings and goings. Hello. Woody Woodward, EastEnders. When? Later this month. The details. Not much is known about the newcomer played by Blue star Lee Ryan except for the fact that he has worked in many bars and clubs. Could he be being swooped in to be the savior of the Vic? Or might he be an associate of Max's who is part of his sinister plan to bring down Albert Square? Destined to ruffle feathers and break hearts, Woody will certainly cause a stir. Leah said, Coronation Street. When? Next month. The details. We know that Sally's sister Gina is going to reappear on the scene when Rosie and Sophie track her down, and they will also meet their teenage cousin Leah in the process. What kind of character is Leah? Not much is known for now, so it remains to be seen whether the family reunion is a joyful one. Molly McClin will play Leah. Fi Browning, EastEnders. When? Next month. The details. Lisa Faulkner has signed up to play the confident and strong businesswoman who comes to the square for seemingly legitimate reasons but soon finds herself with the need to stick around. Again, the nature of her character is quite secretive, but this one has Max Branning written all over it. Lisa recently divulged that the role is pretty long-term, with a 6-month story planned for at the very least. Kyle, Hollyoaks. When? Next week. The details. Nancy Osborne gets a blast from the past when she meets first love Kyle, played by Adam Rickett, at an MS support group. As they bond over the battle with the condition and memories of their past, Nancy feels a spark and finds herself lying to Darren. There could be trouble afoot. Greta, Hollyoaks. When? Next week. The details. Greta makes a brief appearance in a couple of episodes as part of Scott's search for his biological mother. Greta is Maggie's old friend and supplies Scott with an interesting clue that could finally lead him to the answers that he is seeking. Michelle Holmes, star of Rita, Sue and Bob 2 and Goodnight Sweetheart, is playing Greta. Goodbye. Nick Tilsley, Coronation Street. When? Later this year. The details. Ben Price is saying goodbye to his popular alter ego, and there is heartbreak ahead for Nick as his war with Peter and Steve steps up a gear, leading to the breakdown of his relationship with Leanne. As Nick can no longer cope with the paranoia and stress of the other men in Leanne's life, tension explodes in dramatic scenes, but quite how Nick goes remains to be seen. Ashley Thomas, Emmerdale. When? This week. The details. The moment we have all been dreading has arrived in the Dales as we are forced to say a devastating goodbye to beloved character Ashley. As Ashley passes away, surrounded by his loved ones, the episode could well be one of the most emotional ever screened on TV. Goldie McQueen, Hollyoaks. When? Later this year. The details. Chelsea Healey is delighted to be pregnant, and her maternity leave will mean an on-screen break for Goldie, which has already been storyline. It's unknown what takes Goldie away for a fixed period, but she will be back, and her sons Prince and Hunter are remaining on the show in her absence. Mercedes McQueen, Hollyoaks. When? Later this year. The details. Jennifer Metcalf is also due to take some maternity leave, but that's a long way off yet, and Mercedes' history proves that anything is possible between now and then. Jennifer recently confirmed that she hasn't yet had the conversation about exactly when her maternity leave will start and how Mercedes will leave. Freddie Smith, Coronation Street. When? Next month. The details. Derek Griffiths has been confirmed as hanging up his overalls and will leave relatively shortly in a low-key departure for Freddie. The story is likely to tie in with Kevin's ongoing money problems, which mean that staffing at the garage needs to be cut back. Welcome back. Mick Carter, EastEnders. When? Spring. The details. Danny Dyer took a well-earned break from the show after appearing in a huge amount of episodes of Later with Mick visiting Nancy abroad after she suffered a terrible car accident. Said to be already back filming, Mick is set to return in coming weeks to deal with the latest problems with the struggling Vic and the death of Sylvie. Linda Carter, EastEnders. When? Later this year. The details. Linda already made a fleeting comeback for an episode to get up to speed on everything that Mick has been facing without her, and Kelly Bright will make a full-time return at the end of her maternity leave in a few months. Can she get the Vic sorted? And will Mick have succumbed to Whitney by then? Sonia Fowler, EastEnders. When? Spring. The details. Natalie Cassidy is currently on maternity leave, but Sonia could well be back on our screens fairly soon, and her daughter Bex certainly needs her with everything that has happened with Bullies, Sex Pictures and Preston. With the death of Sylvie, Tina could also benefit from her return too. Sonia will have to hit the ground running. Rob Donovan, Coronation Street. When? Spring. The details. Paparazzi Pictures put paid to this coy secret, but Rob Donovan is somehow out of prison, and in deep trouble. Location filming has shown Mark Bayliss with Kate Ford, and a lot of armed police. So this comeback is most definitely destined to be dramatic. Will Tracy be pulled under his spell again? Charles Dingle, Emmerdale. When? TBC. The details. We've just waved goodbye to Chaz after she took Liv abroad to look after her injured mum Sandra, but not before a hurtful exchange with her mum Faith, who dismissed her during a discussion about her double mastectomy. There will be some emotional conversations to be had when Chaz comes home. Lucy Pargeter recently stated that she didn't expect to be away from the soap for too long. Liv Flaherty, Emmerdale. When? Later this year. The details. Isabel Steele is off-screen at the moment as the actress sits her GCSEs, and Liv is currently abroad to be with her ill mum Sandra. Liv won't be away for too long and will return to the show in coming months, but what state will she find Robert and Erin's relationship in when she gets back? Cora Cross, EastEnders. When? Next month. The details. Cora will finally make her long-awaited comeback as part of Denise Fox's storyline. When Denise heads to the job center, still without work after quitting the Minute Mart, she is confronted by Cora, who appears to have her life a bit more together than when we last saw her. But what triggers an explosive row between the pair? Kathy Barnes, Hollyoaks. When? Later this month. The details. After a very long absence from the show, Kathy will be back on screen to say a final goodbye to tragic Amy, and she might have some more catching up to do elsewhere given how much has happened in the years that she has been away. Zoe Carpenter, Hollyoaks. When? Later this month. The details. Zoe Lister is more likely to be found behind the scenes these days, but she is reprising her role for the funeral of Amy too, as Zoe returns to support her partner Mike as he buries another of his daughters in emotional scenes. Gina Seddon, Coronation Street. When? Spring. The details. We haven't seen Gina since the 80s, but Sally is about to get a blast from the past when she is unexpectedly reunited with her sister, the black sheep of the Seddon family. There's a lot of catching up to do as Sally and Gina get reacquainted, but will it be a reunion of joy or tension, and does it form part of Sally's current stalker storyline? Gina will be played by Connie Hyde. And the rumors. Adam Barton, Emmerdale. When? Not necessarily at all. The details. A report in The Sun claimed that Adam would be leaving later this year, with star Adam Thomas allegedly eyeing up presenting roles. The actor took to Twitter to tell fans not to believe everything that they read, and also made a bet with an adamant Sun journalist that he would still be in the show in 2018. There's been no official denial, so time will tell. Carly Hope, Emmerdale. When? Not necessarily at all. The details. Another name that keeps popping up in the "Are they leaving?" category is Gemma Atkinson, who is currently juggling the role with a radio presenting gig. Initial reports that she was leaving were played down, but whether an exit, a break or neither are ahead still remains somewhat under question. What we do know is that whatever the future holds, Gemma is still filming with Emmerdale as we write this.